to the wise. I've been to hell and back and survived. I never died. Oh, you thought it was over? I come alive. Turn up the chaos. Let the grace fall.
Will Smith has picked up some enormous saves during this 9 games, 1 out of 10 played. And the emotion from Will here the other night says it all. Struck out Freddie Galvis to preserve Charlie Morton's win. And we'd love a similar reaction tonight as the Braves, Jeff, are 3 outs away from sweeping the Phillies and winning the division.
Yeah, you said it. The last 2 saves definitely got a little interesting, but made the pitches when he had to get out of it. And you'd love to see a clean inning here tonight. No fireworks, and start popping that champagne.
Guillermo Heredia has taken over in center for the Braves. Duvall moves to right. Heredia has made a couple of great plays in center these last 2 nights. That has been a very important move for Brian Snitker. So everybody up in Atlanta. McCutchen, Gregorius, Torres, the final 3 for the Phillies versus Will Smith. Good start, strike 1. McCutchen's had a good night. He's doubled and homered. Strike 2.
That's a nice fastball.
Will pitches in a lot. Oftentimes it's the breaking ball.
It is, and that's why I like to see that fastball. I think guys, like we talk about, sit on that pitch.
Nothing in 2. 1 out.
Well, you got the start you wanted for the ninth. 3 really good pitches.
Didi Gregorius has hit the ball to Freddie Freeman 3 times tonight. He's 0 for 3. Another strike. What a difference it makes for Will Smith to pitch ahead in the count. Gregorius right on top of that plate. Fly ball, softly hit. Dansby has room. Run out away.
All right, that's 2.
Listen to Truist Park. Ronald Torres stands in the way. He's gotten ahead of all 3 hitters, Jeff.
6 pitches, 6 strikes.
No balls and a strike. Now Atlanta is a strike away. 2 pitch. He got it! Against all odds, against all comers, the Braves are the champions of the National League East for the 4th straight year. Sweet vindication, Jeff, for Will Smith.
I was going to say, the roller coaster ride he's taken people on this year. How funny is it that 8 pitches, 8 strikes, 2 strikeouts, and his biggest save of the year.
Our Great Valley sports crew got so many emotional images. There's one of them. In a season, to quote Vin Scully, that was so improbable, the near impossible has happened. When you think of what this team has overcome, who isn't here, and the battle that Brian Snitker and his staff fought all year long, how gratifying and satisfying that final out must be for that group. And Jeff, as you know, as a player, it never gets old.
It doesn't. You never know when you're ever going to get back. And for these guys, there's a lot of emotion. I know this. We didn't see the emotion last year. And not just with the fans, but that you're seeing from this group this year.
The Braves at one point this year lost both of their #1 starters from the organization. They lost their leadoff hitter, their #3 hitter, their #4 hitter. Their bullpen struggled in the first 2 months. Offensively, the Braves really got off to a slow start in April, but that man helped this team and this organization weather the storm. And Jeff, there were so many pivotal moments in the season, but perhaps the road trip to New York and Philadelphia before the All-Star break was one of them. There were a lot of folks around baseball and maybe in this town who thought the Braves were going to be sellers if they'd not had a good road trip. They did. They stayed relevant. They got help, and they took advantage of it.
You're right. They went 5-4 to stay 5 games back, and then they made those trades, and really they kind of took off after that. They treaded water, I thought, after the All-Star break, which was big because they lost Ronald, and at that point you didn't get anybody to help you. Remember, they won a game, lost a game, won a game, and then they finally got hot, and now really the last 2 months dominated.
So the Braves are the Eastern Division champions. Let's send it down to Kelly Kroll with the skipper, Brian Snitker. Kelly?
Thanks a lot, Chip. Well, Snit, over 4 decades with this organization, and you've now taken them to 4 straight NL East division titles. What does that mean to you?
Oh, man. Means everything. Braves country, thank you for staying with us this year. This wasn't easy. We couldn't have done it without you. Congratulations, because we're going to the dance again.
You've certainly used the word grind over and over this season. To endure all that was thrown your way, does it make it even more rewarding to be standing here right now?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of this club, man. Everything they've been through, where they've come, the guys that we got contributions for over the last 7 months. I couldn't be more proud of a group of guys. I mean, this is our 4th one in a row. This is probably the most special, quite honestly, after what these guys had to endure, everything they came through. And again, we thank the fans. Braves country is a powerful, powerful thing, and we love you.
Speaking of which, a year ago when you guys did this, these were empty.
Yeah.
When you look around and you listen and you hear Braves country tonight, how much was this team able to feed off their energy throughout the year?
Like I said, these guys have been behind us all year long. They've come out in droves. It's unbelievable to play here. It's a blessing and an honor to be able to represent Atlanta and be part of Braves country. It's awesome. It's awesome, and we love the fans.
Nick, congratulations. Go celebrate with your guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Paul, over to you with Charlie Morton.
Here with the ace. We got 2 aces, Max Fried as well. This is why you came back to Atlanta. You had a choice to go to Tampa. You liked this team. You wanted to come back home. What does that feel like right now?
Yeah, well, after the grind, you know, after the 4 months or whatever it was of just kind of grinding it out like every other team in the division, got a little separation. Just shows what this group is made out of. It's great.
You've been to the big dance, the World Series, not just the playoffs, and you've excelled. Young guy walks up into the locker room and asks you what it takes in the postseason. What do you tell him?
Just let it hang out. Give it everything you got. Leave it all on the field. You might only get that chance one time.
You made an adjustment this year. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out turning your season around?
I think just the support from everybody here, my teammates and the staff. Our catching core that we had here this year, you know, and just each other. I think just, you know, we never gave up, and that helps on an individual basis. So it's been a really fun year, rewarding year.
I can see why you get people out on base. You're calm as a cat.
Yeah, sometimes. I've learned over the years.
Go have fun. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Paul Bird. As you see, the 21st division title, that's the most in Major League history. As again, Jeff, I can't say it enough, the improbable nature of this division championship for the Braves. At one point, they had a 5.9% chance to win the division. That was in mid-June, when you knew which team was, maybe which team wasn't. But somehow, some way, this team grinded and fought and never looked too far ahead. They played each pitch, each inning, each game as it laid, and it ended up atop the pile in the East.
Yeah, an amazing job, a great group of guys, and now Kelly is with Freddie Freeman. Kelly.
Well, Freddie, for over half the season, this team was hovering at 500. You finally get over that mark. But what was it that kept this group believing all year long?
Oh, man, this feels good. What a great year. A lot of roller coasters. The things we overcame as a ball club this year, this is probably one of the sweetest feelings you can have. Man. There's a few people that should be out on this field right now. Ronald, Soroka, you know, it's pretty special what this group did this year. So this is pretty special.
You said before this one tonight, it took a lot of guys picking up the pieces and the contributions that Ronald Acuna or Mike Soroka would have given this team this year. How were you guys able to do that?
You can never replace Ronald Acuna Jr. I think everyone knows that. But what this team did after the All-Star break and the guys we got, Alex going to get Jock, Eddie, Jorge, Adam, Richard, the things that this team did, it's a whole different team than the first half, and we played like it. We played great. We played great as a team, and somehow we overcame losing, in my mind, the best player in baseball, and we were able to do it, so hopefully we can keep going.
I mentioned to Snit, last year you guys had to do this without Braves Country here. What do you want to say to them tonight because they're here?
This is a lot better than celebrating in a quiet ballpark last year. This is what it's all about. I know there's a lot of kids that are in school, supposed to be in school tomorrow too. We appreciate you sticking around. This is what it's all about, playing in front of you guys. We hovered around 500 all year, gave you guys some heart attacks, but here we are, division champs again.
And Freddie, there's a lot to be said for a team that's clicking on all cylinders at the right time of year. How dangerous are the Braves right now?
Pretty dangerous. Yeah, we've been playing great baseball the last 2 weeks. The pitching's been phenomenal. The bats are hot. We got another week to go, but we're gonna keep it going. We like it. We like it.
I want you to listen to this as it comes in. Enjoy the celebration.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it very much.
I just want to speak to you for all of the Braves fans. We're sorry we ever let you go, and we're so happy that you came back. What's that feeling like right now?
This is what I imagined when I came back. Us doing this again, and and trying to finish what we started. And this is what it's about right here. Being able to celebrate with all these fans and the atmosphere, and just coming back and being with the guys, man. It's just amazing.
And you put on a show when you came back. The homers, the RBI, the clutch hits. What does it mean to you knowing how much you helped this team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you want to make an impression when they go out and get you, and you want to help the team win. Like you said, I think I did that, and I think there's more in the tank.
Last year, you got hurt in the playoffs. That really hurt us, a lot of us. Are you on a mission this time around?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Obviously, it didn't end the way I wanted it to end, and from a personal standpoint, getting hurt, and then obviously from a team standpoint, we were so close. So, being able to get back in, and once you get in, anything can happen.
You want to give a shout out to anybody right now?
My family back at home, mom and dad, my brother, my in-laws, and my wife and my son up in the stands. I can't wait to see you. So
you're so easy to pull for. Well done. I'll let you go celebrate.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Adam Duvall leading the league in RBIs. Brian Snitker watched his offense explode. The Braves in this final kick won 10 of their last 11 games. There are 7 players, Jeff, on this team with 10 or more RBIs in September. The offense really was spread around, but offense is only part of the story. The Braves pitching down the stretch was brilliant, including Max Fried, who's standing by with Paul Bird. Paul?
Here with Max Fried, athlete, hitter, also a good pitcher. 1.74 ERA in the second half. What does that feel like, seeing everybody dogpile?
It's just a culmination of all our hard work and trials and, running. It obviously wasn't the prettiest year. We had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of injuries, a lot that we had to fight through. So to be able to finish on top and win the division again, it's everything that we've worked for. Now the fun starts.
I mean, how about this crowd chanting for your teammates, Freddie and others?
Unbelievable. These guys deserve it, especially Freddie with how amazing and how great he's been this year, starting off to not the greatest start and having just, one of the hottest stretches in baseball, and just being that consistent, stabilizer for us. It's amazing, and to have these, amazing fans come out, it helps us a lot. You can feel the energy in the crowd tonight, and we definitely wanted to close this one out.
You've been to the playoffs a couple times. What does it mean to you now? Is there some unfinished business?
I think we got our feet wet a couple times, and now it's not a surprise. We want to go out there and play our game, make a statement, and just trying to play the best brand of baseball that we can. We've been playing really well over the last couple weeks, and I feel like we've had a pretty intense focus, and just kind of carry that into the postseason.
Your dad's pretty fired up?
He's pretty fired up.
Way to go. I'll let you go celebrate. Great job, man, always. Max Fried, the curveball, the bat, he can do it all.
Thank you, Paul Bird. That's the scene right now in the Atlanta clubhouse. Brian Snitker, his division clinching speech, and then the champagne celebration begins here at Truist Park. Jeff?
Yeah, it's always special when Snick can get in there, talk to the guys, just even for a minute after this long year, but now the fun part.
How satisfying and gratifying must that be for that group of 26 players? Braves used much more than that this year, obviously, Jeff, but with, again, all that this team has overcome, that has to be one of the proudest moments of their professional careers.
I think you heard the emotion from Snit when he was talking to Kelly a little bit ago. This is by far the most gratifying for him, and out of the 4 division titles. And like I said, it goes back to what they went through. For 4 months, they were a 500 team and below. And all of a sudden, they turned it on the last 2 months and showed why they were the best team in the NL East.
Yeah, so many signposts for this team. You'll recall in early May, they lost Travis d'Arnaud in Dunedin, Florida. Tore a thumb ligament. He was out. He was one of 7 catchers that the Braves used this year. In Boston, Marcell Ozuna broke his fingers. He was lost. Then you lose Acuna right before the All-Star break. Then the Braves, hovering around 500, find a way. That 5-4 road trip through Philadelphia and New York against the Mets got them to within 4 games at the trading deadline. Alex worked his magic. And then finally at game 109, the Braves get over 500. They then have a 9-0 road trip that put them in first place to stay.
And that was it. The 9-0 road trip, they kind of went on from there and then closed it out. To me, yes, these 3 games, but what they did in Arizona and San Diego kind of put Philly behind the 8 ball, and then they came home and got the first sweep of the year.
And so for the Philadelphia Phillies, man, they gave the Braves all they could handle in this series. It was a great 3-game set. Joe Girardi's club had issues themselves, but they will finish in second place behind Atlanta in 2021. And it's going to feature another great race next year in 2022, because everybody's going to be gunning for the top-seeded Atlanta Braves again, who've won their 4th straight division title. So a lot to celebrate in Atlanta, not just with the players and staff, but with Derek Schiller, the Braves team president. He's standing by with our own Kelly Kroll. Kelly?
Well, Derek, I know for you, watching that imagery we just saw of this team celebrating, you said that's pretty darn cool. What is this moment like for you, having watched what this team and the adversity they faced to come out on top here with a 4th straight division title?
You know, I know we've obviously poured champagne before. We've won division championships before. But in a lot of ways, this one feels very different. Perhaps it's the year plus that we've all overcome. The fact that we didn't have fans in the ballpark last year, and now we have them here, and doing all this in front of Braves country, I think it's extra special. What the guys overcame this year, you know, all the injuries, all the adversity, you know, go back just a month ago, and I think there was a lot of doubters and wondering whether, you know, we had it in us. And so it's a great group of guys, obviously, in that clubhouse, and they deserve all the champagne they're getting poured on them right now.
Absolutely. You could use the word, and we've heard it, survival for this season. They survived, and then at the trade deadline, Alex Anthopoulos really went to work and added some pieces that maybe have them in this position, you have to say.
Well, look, I don't think I'm going to be the first to say this, but I think he should get Executive of the Year. There's a lot of people that obviously did great things for their teams, but I don't think anybody did what that Alex did for this team in that trade deadline. And while not a single one of them was necessarily the front page of a newspaper type of trade, all of them collectively got us to where we are, and he's just, you know, obviously an amazing executive and, you know, deserves all the credit.
I think 28 guys standing here tonight, but it took 54 to get to this point. When you speak to that depth and the resiliency of this group, what does it say about what lies in front of them?
Well, look, I mean, this is a chapter, but it's not the ending chapter. This is, in a lot of ways, this is the start. You know, we didn't do this so that we could just be done, pour the champagne, and be over. We are obviously very interested in trying to win the World Series. That's been our goal. That is our goal. That's what we're going to try to shoot out to do. And obviously, nothing would be better than to win a World Series here in Atlanta in front of this crowd who supported us so much this year. You know, we're obviously among the league leaders in attendance the whole year. The fans have come out. But I also want to say a special thanks to our employees. You know, our ushers, our ticket takers, the people that actually persevered, worked hard to try to bring this ballpark back to life. Our full-time staff, everybody contributed to this, and it's just it's a really special moment, and you know, we're all sort of beginning to bask in what was achieved out here on this field today.
I feel like that's such a good one to end it on. Derek, thank you so much for your time tonight, and I feel like you've earned this. Go enjoy it as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your coverage of it. Thank you.
Guys.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Congratulations to the Braves. Jerome, Nick, Peter, and BJ out here. 4th year in a row. No real surprise when you look at the way this team had been playing for about the last 6 weeks. And BJ, Frenchie said it, Chip said it, the guys have said it. This never gets old.
No, it never gets old. But, you know, listen to Derek Schiller and a lot of these guys. You know, this was a special year, because with all the adversity they started with during the season, losing Soroka, and then Acuna, one of the best players in the game, goes down. And frankly, the Braves wasn't playing good in the first half. Simple as that. But Alex Anthopoulos stepped out there and made some big trades. And to see this team come together in the second half when it counted, it's been amazing. So I feel good about our chances going into the playoffs. It's all about momentum. Yeah, you know, it is the playoffs, and we're going to play some great teams. But I feel like we are prepared this year. We were 1 game away last year from the World Series. So guys, remember that. And we really have a talented ball club, man.
This is a completely different team than what we saw at the start of the year. What Alex did was phenomenal. But when you look at this team maybe a couple of weeks before the trade deadline, even if they had made the playoffs, I don't think they would have done anything special. When you look at what this team's done over the last 2 weeks, you get a real sense that they're starting to believe in themselves. Everyone out here is starting to believe in them a little bit. The starting pitching has been nothing short of amazing. So that's given you confidence. You go into the first round, it's really about pitching and defense. You've got to scratch and claw for a couple of runs, and then you can win a few ball games. So I really think that this team thinks that they can do some real damage in the playoffs.
And this is just the first step, right? You have to win the division title first. You have to get in. We said this halfway through the season. They were not going to win a wild card berth. You had to win the division.
Right.
How do you win the division? You have to get on some sort of tear at the end, because they were playing 500 baseball. Everybody wrote them off. The odds going into the All-Star break were not in their favor. They didn't look like they were going to get a playoff spot. Didn't look like they were going to win the division. All of a sudden, things turn. The script is flipped, and this team is playing really good baseball.
Yeah.
So you feel good about how everything's going right now. I'm so happy for all of these guys. Brian Snitker, my favorite ever, to be able to celebrate with his grandkids is unbelievable too. But all these guys deserve credit. All of them put the hard work in. Long season, much deserved victory today.
You know, this is the 4th year in a row we have seen the champagne flow in that clubhouse. And the 4th year in a row, we have seen Brian Snitker get all teary-eyed. And I love that about that man. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He is such a genuine great human being. Everybody loves that guy if they know him. I'm so happy for him. The timeline of this season, as you guys have alluded to, was remarkable. There was a time where people, beginning of the season, Braves were the team to beat. Defending champs, this is a team to beat in the division. Mets loaded up. Phillies got a little bit better. Everybody was getting better. And like, what are the Braves doing? And the next thing you know, injury. And they bring over Jack Peterson. And he contributes right away. And then the 3 outfielders come over. You got 4 outfielders. You're hoping just 2 of them contribute. All 4 did. That was remarkable, Brian. Remarkable.
No, it was. And, when we made those trades, it was players that won with a team where they weren't performing well. And we knew the talent that they had. And all of a sudden, they got new life. And that's what is so important about your scouting. You got to give a lot of credit to the scouts here for the Atlanta Braves that went back to Alex Anthopoulos and said, these guys have the potential to be great and to bring this team to victory. And Soler, struggling, comes here and he looks like a totally different player. He had 49 home runs, 48 home runs before. Well, he returned to that player just in time for the Braves. And give credit to Jock Peterson when he came over. He gave us some instant life. And Eddie Rosario, when he came off the IL, he showed why Alex went after him. He's a 5-tool player. He can get it done. And, man, you can't say enough about Adam Duvall, a guy that I thought we should have kept.
Yeah.
We lost him
a few times.
but we brought him back because, and I remember interviewing Alex. He said he got mad at me saying all the yayas for Duvall when he was with Miami beating us. So I'm just happy we brought him back because he really took over.
Peter, how amazing is it? Adam Duvall almost cost us the division the first half of the season. Comes over to us and helps us win it. That was crazy.
Unbelievable. Don't forget about Rich Rodriguez, too.
That's right.
Rich Rodriguez came over. I know he's been shaky a little bit lately, but he's going to be just fine with that new adrenaline that you get in the playoffs. He was a huge boost to that bullpen. And that bullpen in the second half, I know I'm a little bit partial, but that bullpen in the second half was pretty incredible, too.
Yeah.
Starting pitching was great. Everyone seems to be clicking. Luke Jackson, Will Smith, you've done a great job in the last couple of months. Matzik. Those guys are going to be okay, and they're going to be well rested. Let's not think about, we have a Mets coming in for 3 games. We don't have to throw our A squad out there. Just get your at-bats. It's almost like a spring training. Get yourself ready. There's no wild card games. We get to sit back and watch everybody else beat up on each other and see who comes for us.
And I want to make one point, too, is as far as the guys that came over at the deadline, obviously Jock Peterson, he came over and brought new life to them when they needed it, when Acuna got hurt. But one big thing that I can't think enough about when I look at this season and how it turned out with Jorge Soler was the fact that Rosario was on the IL when he came over. What did that do? That allowed him to play every day, Soler that is, to really get comfortable and find his groove. If Rosario's healthy, now you have to find at bats for 4 outfielders. They didn't have to. Soler gets his at bats every day. All of a sudden he takes off. Jock tailed off a little bit, but has had really big at bats and pinch hit situations, which I think is going to prove big in the playoffs too. So that's all that's going to be big, but everything has worked out perfectly since the trade deadline.
Soler started to hit about the last week and a half over in Kansas City. And they're like, do we take a chance on him? What do we know? And to Nick's point, he started getting those ABs here, and he just flourished. I want to follow up with you, Peter, because you hit the nail on the head. Look, it has been a ride out at Six Flags for Will Smith this season. But when he went out to San Diego, got a couple of calls his way, but he got the job done. And then what we saw on Tuesday and again tonight, that bodes well for the Braves heading into the playoffs now that he has his confidence back and he's pitching really, really well.
Yeah, Nick even mentioned it last night and the night before that his stuff had seemed to elevate over the last couple of days as well. When he threw that fastball past Kim in San Diego, the reaction from him, the reaction from the bench, the reaction from the coaches, everybody was like, holy cow, that just happened. Then he escaped again the next night. He went through a run where you're thinking, okay, it's a bit shaky. Then he comes out tonight, biggest game of the year, and goes 1-2-3 with 2 punch-outs. That's telling me he's not overawed by any moment. He's ready for these playoffs, and he's found something in the last couple of games that means he's going to be locked in a little bit.
These playoffs are going to be phenomenal. Los Angeles, San Francisco having an amazing year. St. Louis, look out the way they have been playing lights out for the last month. And Milwaukee has been good all year. This is going to be a fantastic postseason, Nick. It is going to be close. It is going to be fun.
It's going to be really fun. And when you look at Milwaukee, their starting pitching is unbelievable. Now, one thing, Devin Williams is hurt, so I think that's a benefit.
It's a big loss.
It's a big loss for them. But all the way through the playoffs, you're going to have to play good baseball. You're going to face face good pitching. You're going to face good teams who have done it before. So is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But like you said, BJ, this team, I think, is going to play with a chip on their shoulder, too, after last year.
You know, what's the amazing thing is St. Louis got so hot at the end of this season. That's the team you don't want to play in that wild card one game.
Yeah.
And it looks like L.A. may be that team. 100-win season, and you got to play a one-game elimination playoff game.
Sorry about it.
It's going to be tough for those guys, and San Francisco's been amazing. So we went up there and handled San Francisco. I like our chances. You know, Milwaukee, yeah, they got good pitching, but the loss of Devin and the way they lost Devin, to me, hurts that team. The mentality of that team going into the playoffs, because they know they lost a key guy that they relied on all season long. So that plays with the psyche, and I think the Braves will take advantage of that.
You go from such the high of winning the division to waking up the next morning and finding out effectively your Luke Jackson has been eliminated from the playoffs and you cannot face him in round one. I mean, that's got to be devastating, first of all. Kind of like you saw the wind go out of the Phillies after game 2. You kind of knew that they weren't into it. They could tell that they were really up against it. I feel like that's going to punch Milwaukee in the face. I mean, it's an advantage for us for sure.
We went through that here in Atlanta when Noah broke his hand.
Yeah.
Really, what are you doing? And in the first half, it just started to pile on there with the injuries. And we're like, what is happening? Thankfully, that was early in the season. This is the worst possible time for the Brewers to suffer an injury to one of their key relievers. But enough about the Brewers. It's all about the Braves tonight. 4 division titles in a row, Nick. You heard Nick talk about it. We talked about it in the pregame. This, by far, the most improbable and maybe the most fun one to watch.
Yeah, and I talked to Kevin Seitzer earlier, and he said 2018, which you were on that team, was a big deal because you guys weren't expected to win. Well, last year, 60-game season, you lose 4 starters, and they go 1 game from the World Series. This year, you lose 2 of your top 3 hitters, you lose a Silver Slugger, and all of a sudden, this team comes back and wins the division again. So never count this team out, period. These 4 titles have been a little bit interesting at times in different ways, but this team keeps getting it done.
Yeah, they were 1 win away from the World Series last year. Hopefully they can get that this year. We just mentioned how well Will Smith has been pitching as of late. Let's get you back down on the field right now. Here's Kelly with Will.
Well, Will, it's been a heck of a ride to this point. What does it feel like to be standing right here, your NL East division title t-shirt and hat on?
It feels good. You know, like Skip said in the clubhouse before we started, 2 months ago it didn't look the greatest, but we kept grinding, we kept believing in each other, we kept just pushing and fighting, and you know, here we are now. So it's a good feeling.
And the bullpen, the work you guys did was a huge part of that. You think about the turnaround from the second half, really mid-July. What was the difference in your opinion?
I don't know. We're a crazy group down there. We legit love each other. We all care for each other. We pull for each other. So when somebody struggles or has a bad inning, you know, somebody's there to pick them up the next day, and then they're good to go after that. So yeah, we're just a little ragtag group down there.
Ragtag getting it done. Will, take me into your mind on top of the mound here tonight with a chance, knowing again everything this group has been through this season, and you have the chance to lock it down.
Please have a 1-2-3 inning for Skip. If there's a time to have a 1-2-3 inning, let's have it now.
Did he tell you that he's lost some hair? Because I don't know that he has much left, but has he told you that?
I don't know if he lost any because of me, but this is where he started. But yeah, I was happy just to come in and do my job and get it done.
Has this been an emotional and/or difficult year for yourself?
Absolutely. I was actually talking with some of the guys after the San Francisco when I gave up the homer that this was probably the hardest year mentally I've ever had, to continue to get back on the horse and continue to you know, get your work in, be a good teammate. So it's nice that it pays off.
What helped you get there?
Bullpen guys, the guys on the team, just picking you up and continue to believe in yourself and you know, believe in each other, and you know, just don't quit.
Last but not least, for all those that are still hanging around here tonight, what do you have to say for this group? Because a year ago, you know this, fans weren't in the stands. It's a lot different now, this feeling.
You know, we're not done yet. We're going to keep on going.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, sweet redemption for Will Smith, who picks up the save on the clinching night, an 8-pitch inning. He was absolutely phenomenal. His 37th save of the season. And Ozzie Albies, what can you say about Ozzie Albies, Jeff? The guy's been everywhere. A 30, 100, 100 year. One of the best years for any second baseman in recent history.
100%. Ozzie, unbelievable this year, and really the whole Braves infield. It's the most athletic infield in baseball, and I think they showed you the last 3 months the best infield in baseball.
Let's check in with Ozzie Albies. He's standing by with Paul Bird. Birdie?
Incredible year for you. You pretty much did it all. You broke a record at 24 years old with 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. Unbelievable. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, feeling great. We just won the division. That's what all matters right now. And we're going to have to go and take care of business right now. So that's what all matters right now.
I love taking care of business. You do that every day with Ron Washington, others. How about the fun this team has?
Always. We always have fun, and we're not going to give up. Everybody thought we were going to give up. No, we're going to keep playing hard every fucking day. Sorry, we got to do that again.
You can't.
No, we got to do it again.
Roll with it.
I'm a little busy, sorry. But we got to do that every day and just keep going.
Your brother is here. How excited is it when you saw your family and everybody gave the hugs?
Yeah, so it's really excited. And he called me and said, hey, I want to be there for when you guys clinch. So all he did was fly in, and I'm really happy he's here with me.
How excited are you to see your brother?
I'm excited. It's a great game, and it's a lot of fun out here. And I'm excited to see my brother win the NL division.
I love the pride you have in your family. Thank you for being an Atlanta Brave for a long, long time. You're so fun to watch. Ozzie Albies, everybody.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, you heard Ozzie. We're sorry about the language. It's live TV, but you can understand the excitement of the Braves' young second baseman here in Atlanta tonight.
Go get him, Ozzie. Go get him.
Well, Ozzie's not the only young infielder who's had a great game and a great season. Austin Riley. Folks, he's the MVP in my opinion, right, Paul Bird?
Austin Riley, he walks up to the plate, and my goodness, they're chanting MVP. How about the year that you've had?
I've been truly blessed. I really have. All the hard work and preparation of, the constant battle of this, this game of failure. To finally see some consistency, it's super nice.
Snicker said he's so proud of you, this team, what the guys have accomplished, bouncing back after a really, really tough year. What does that mean to you, the way this team handled the adversity that was thrown at them?
It was, great. It was a strange year. It really was. Just the injuries and, when we couldn't get over 500 and, finally got that, got over it and was able to breathe a little bit. I think that's, we were able to just trust ourselves. And, this team, we have the team. We really do. I truly believe that. So I'm pumped.
Is this the best infield in baseball?
I'd say so, no doubt. No questions.
How excited are you to get back to the playoffs?
I'm super pumped. The way the last year ended, it kind of stuck with us. I feel like throughout the whole season, and it's just we'll enjoy this night for sure, no doubt, and be ready to get back after it.
Go have fun with your teammates, man. Awesome stuff.
Way to go, Paul Bird. Love to see the guys out in Chattahoochee Falls. There's the Braves bullpen crew. That's become a traditional picture these last 4 years here in Atlanta. And you guys make sure Paul Bird doesn't go swimming with you. I know that's something Paul Bird likes to do when the Braves win the East. And that was the story tonight as the Braves subdued the Philadelphia Phillies for the first home sweep of this 2021 season.
100%. That bullpen deserves it. As we said, early in the year, they had their struggles, but they, as a group, the last 3-4 months has been dominant and a main reason the Braves won another division. So smoke those cigars and enjoy Chattahoochee Falls, boys.
Yes, it is very slippery, Will. That's good advice on the slippery rocks out in Chattahoochee Falls. Alex Anthopoulos is downstairs. I'm sure Alex will join us in just a few minutes. We can't understate or overstate the job that Alex did for this club. The faith that he showed in this team, the team that was decimated by injuries, Jeff, in the first half of the season, the faith that this team showed him and the prowess they showed going on that 5-4 road trip, giving him a chance to work his magic at the deadline.
It'd have been real easy to get 1 or 2 guys and say, yeah, I did something, let's try it out. But he went out and got 5 guys total, 4 for the offense, Richard down in the bullpen, and tell you what, it paid off because this team tonight is celebrating and headed up to Milwaukee next week.
Yeah, when you factor in the fact that the Braves didn't get over 500 until the 109th game of the season. I can't remember a team that won a division that muddled around 500 so long as the Braves did. But what's the old saying? 54 games really decide your season. Everybody wins 54, everybody loses 54. It's the 54 in the middle that make the difference, and those were the 54 that did that for the Braves.
Yeah, they did. Finish right. You know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this team really the last 2 months kind of showed why they were the best in the East.
So we set our sights now on the New York Mets for the final weekend, then the Milwaukee Brewers, Jeff, in a playoff series that will start at American Family Field a week from tomorrow.
Should be great. 3-3 during the season. Braves went to Milwaukee and took 2 of 3. Milwaukee came here to Truist Park and took 2 of 3. So, look, it's going to be some great pitching matchups, a lot of big arms. And, you know, I mean, they're very similar teams. It should be a great series. I think it's 2 very good teams.
And for the Braves, who are coming in hot, that's not the case for the Brewers, who've had their hands full with the St. Louis Cardinals. It's been a struggle for them. And, of course, they lose Devin Williams. That's a big, big loss for them. That's
a big loss. They got a good bullpen, though. Even besides that, they got a great bullpen. And that's the tough thing. You talk about how do you want to go in the postseason? Do you want to be, you know, like the Braves are here, full steam all the way to the end? Well, the Brewers have kind of had a cakewalk now for 2 months. Even though the Cardinals have gotten hot, they still were up enough that it didn't matter. But, you know, we'll see how they respond. They have to go out to L.A. for 30.
So the celebration continues at Chattahoochee Falls and here at Truist Park. We're going to step aside for a quick moment. Let's send it to Jerome out on the Plaza stage. Jerome?
Well, first it's Champaign, then it's the water in Chattahoochee Falls. Either way, they're getting drenched all night, and the celebration is continue here at Truist Park, both inside the stadium and outside with the crowd around us. Everybody having a good time, Nick, and why not? This team has been absolutely remarkable, and Chip made a great point. They didn't even get to 500 until way past what everybody expected them to do, and then they just put the pedal to the metal.
Game 109, they went over 500.
That's crazy.
That is insane to me.
Yeah.
And they kept on getting there. They couldn't get over. And you sit there and watch from the outside saying, is this team ever going to figure it out? Like, we sit there every day and try to fight for this team, but they kept on getting to 500, letting us down,
19
letting themselves down. It was 17 straight, but it got messed up because of the makeup game. So either way, they weren't consistent. They weren't winning consecutive games. All of a sudden, you go to that road trip, BJ, where they won 9 in a row, and the script just flipped. It was insane how it just turned on a dime.
You know what? It turned at the right time because it convinced Alex that we were not going to be sellers. We were going to go out there and get some players to win in the second half, and that's exactly what he did. So you got to give Alex a lot of credit for what he's done to build this team in the second half.
And speaking of Alex, look, you can talk about the contributions of each and every one of the players out there, but we're going to get Alex Anthopoulos here in just a minute, and we're going to ask him, because there was a point in this season when they went on that road trip, how close were you to just cash it in the season? Right. And when you bring in 4 outfielders, are you hoping just 2 of them work out? Did you ever expect all 4 of those guys to do it? You know, look, he has got to be the executive of the year. I mean, you can make a case whether he's the best GM in baseball. And this year, you could really say yes to that question. But really, Nick, when you go out and get 5 guys to contribute, Rodriguez gave us quality innings up and down. Early in mid-games, early, late, he was just phenomenal at times for this Braves when they really needed an extra arm that was healthy.
So go back 2 years ago when the Braves needed bullpen help, right? He goes out and gets Melanson, Green, and one other guy, Chris Martin. Yep. Those guys turned this team around, right? So what did we expect from Alex this year? Find a way to get it turned around again. I didn't expect 4 outfielders, but he got it done again. So nothing surprised me with Alex, the way he gets things done around this organization.
Let's welcome him to the celebration and our coverage of it right now. And Alex, we're going to just call you the magician from here on out. You do it every year. You pull that rabbit out of your hat. First of all, congratulations on the division title again today. And we were just asking, was there a point when they went on that road trip when you were thinking, boy, I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger or not? Or did you just sit there and go, if they give me at least 5, I'm going to make these deals?
You know, we were pretty determined to make the club better. Obviously we had a hard time, no doubt. It's been the most challenging year of my career, in Atlanta at least. And it's the most gratifying, I'd say, of all the years that I've been here as well. I remember a few years ago, Freddie and me in 2019, we were kind of more subdued. The celebration, it was the expectation. And I went up to him today and we talked about it, like we were going to enjoy this one, but we were going to contend. having been doing this now, this is my 10th year as a general manager. Not giving your team a chance when they're close, the fans, people in the organization, the people that live and die with this club, it's a really high bar to clear for us to sell and just tear the entire thing down. So as long as we were somewhat close, we were going to go.
And Alex, how stressful was this season? I know it was up and down all throughout the season. You lose a lot of guys, and you go to the All-Star break, you lose Acuna, and you sit there and wonder if this season can't be turned around. Was the stress level as high as it's ever been for you this year?
No doubt. Stress is through the roof, and it's not because of job security or financial. There's a lot of expectations that come with positions like this, and you have responsibility for a fan base. You have all the employees that count on you as well. When things aren't going well on the team, they point to you. There's no one behind me to get it fixed. It's on you to get it fixed, and you feel the responsibility and the burden. And I say this all the time. I'm a sports fan, and I know what it's like to love the Hawks and the Falcons and so on. I know there's people that love the Braves, and it's on you to put a good product out there to make the community proud.
Alex, I texted you about 6 weeks ago when the additions started to go off a little bit, and you wouldn't allow yourself to take any credit. Will you allow yourself now to finally take a little bit of credit for what's happened this year?
You know what? I mean, not that I'm glass half full or half empty at the same time. I think, in these jobs, maybe when you're done and you're retired, you look at things another way, but I think you're always looking at what more could we have done, what else could we have done. Look, there's no doubt, Snit, the coaches, the players, those are the ones that did everything. Yeah, we do what we can. We owe it. We have to do our part too, and hopefully the players end up doing well. And they all did. And if I would tell you I expected all that, there's just no way to know it. But I'm thrilled with the way it worked out. I think it's incredible we won the division with everything we went through. And just like I said, this is the most enjoyable 4 years that I've been here. This year is certainly the most important to me.
Alex, I gotta say, man, first off, congratulations, man. You did a tremendous job. Picking up those 4 outfielders. I mean, what made you guys go out and get a Soler, who was struggling in Kansas City, Eddie Rosario, who is a great, talented player, but was injured at the time? What made you guys take those chances?
Well, I think, another thing that has not been talked about, I know there's been a lot of talk about trade deadline, and these guys, the players are the ones that have really put the emphasis on that because of how well they've played. But, Terry McGurk at the All-Star break, and really it's a credit to the fans. The fans, the way they turned out with the ups and downs, it changed our financial outlook entirely. And Terry said, we have money to put behind this club. And giving me the ammunition to go out in July and at the trade deadline and go add some pieces was a game changer for me. Without that, there's no way we get these guys. So, all those guys, Soler, Rosario, and so on, they were talented. They were hot at certain times. Rosario had been a very good player, was hurt. Soler had just finally gotten hot. And again, Snit, ton of credit to him to putting him in the lineup ASAP and playing him day in and day out. Jason Perret on our staff reminded me 30 minutes to 4 o'clock, hey, let's stay in touch with the Royals. Why don't we go back to them one more time because talks had stalled. It's really a group thing. It's, at the end of the day, I have the final choice to make, but you need your entire staff to get these things to go right.
Well, let me tell you, Alex, you are the man with the Midas touch. The Powerball's over $600 million. I need you to text me the numbers because you are just living large right now. We are so thankful and grateful that you are the general manager of our Atlanta Braves. Good luck the rest of the postseason and enjoy it, my friend. Enjoy it.
I really appreciate it, guys. And one last thing, Jerome, I got to Atlanta 4 years ago. I watched the Hawks a ton in the offseason. I watched you a ton in the offseason. It was some challenging years early with the Hawks, but you made the broadcast amazing to watch. It sucks that you're going to be gone, but great career, and I'm excited for you.
I appreciate the kind words. Hey, he told us he's a sports fan. He told me 2 years ago, Zion Williamson, he was worried about him. He was too big and heavy. He's going to be injured. You were right on the money. You can be an NBA GM as well, Alex. All right, thank you very much. And one of the trades that he made that paid dividends right away was when he went out and got Jock Peterson. And a lot of people were thinking, he went to the Cubs on the one-year deal, wasn't really having a great year at Wrigley with the Cubs. And next thing you know, he comes down here and he contributes. So here he is right now, Jock with Kelly.
Well, Jack, I made the trek all the way out here to find out the story about the pearls. No, I'm kidding. Stop.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery for everyone. They'll never know.
Listen, you've done this a time or two with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but doing it here with a group that from afar went through so much this season. To be a part of that and to know that you're a guy a lot of people in this clubhouse are pointing to as part of the energy that sparked this final half.
It's just exciting. Winning's fun, and great group of guys that we can accomplish a lot. We proved that. We're able to come back when we get hit in the mouth a little bit, so it's a special group, and I'm excited to see what's in store for us, but it's going to be fun.
Why do you say that about a special group? What makes the chemistry within a group unique?
A special group because look at the talent. It's off the charts. 1 through 8, it's a really good lineup. You got guys like Ian, Max, Chuck that can give you 7 strong innings against any lineup. So and then you have a bullpen to come close it out. So just from a talent aspect, that's there. Then as a chemistry, everyone loves each other. We get along, and that's what it takes to win in October.
You were sitting up here with Ian enjoying your cigar.
Oh yeah.
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 What did you think of the job he did and has done?
The guy's lights out. They can't stop him. He's a beast on the mound. It's fun to watch, and he's just still kind of young in the game and getting experienced hitters out. So it's really impressive.
Speaking of young in the game, last thing, if someone in this clubhouse came up to you and asked you, what does it take to win a World Series, what would your answer to them be?
A little bit of love, and we got that. Bang.
And just like that, Jock Peterson's out, guys.
He's a free spirit, and they don't call it Jocktober for no strange reason.
A little bit of love, a pearl necklace, and you're good to go.
Exactly right. Since the trade deadline, the Braves went 35-19. Jeff, they averaged over 5 runs a game. I'll use a hockey analogy. We talk about that quite a bit in that sport. You get a hot goaltender down the stretch, and even if you don't have the best of records, you can run the table in postseason play. The goal is get to the tournament and see what happens. The Braves have done that.
100%. You look back to the Nats a couple years ago with Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin.
Yeah.
They ran with those 3 guys. Well, right now for the Braves, you got a pretty good 1, 2, 3. So if you're able to do that, get a couple of those relievers hot, throwing like they are. I mean, look, let's not overstate. Great thing seeing Will Smith throw 8 pitches tonight and have a clean inning. I mean, that's got to give him some confidence moving forward. So you got to feel comfortable about the way this team's playing right now. But you know as well as I do, you get to October and you got to be playing good ball.
All the highlight shows, broadcasters around the league talk about the opposing team's offense 9 times out of 10. They also then talk about the pitching staff. The part of the pitching staff that's often overlooked is the Braves or Major League team's defense. When you look and analyze what the Braves defense has done, especially this infield defense, and then the outfield, which, as Snit has said, is on its 3rd shift, to use a hockey term again, I think that's a huge advantage for Atlanta going into postseason play. Both offensively and defensively, they almost set a record with 4 guys hitting 30 home runs. And as you said during the telecast tonight, Riley 3 errors in almost 90 games. Dansby 3 errors in 100 games. Yeah. I think that's kind of unprecedented in this day and age of Major League Baseball.
Well, that's why it continues. It's the best infield in baseball. Just from an offensive standpoint, look at these numbers. Besides the Giants, they're 2nd in OPS, but like you said, you throw the defense in there, and the fact the last 100 games, pretty much 6 errors on the left side of the infield. I mean, there's no free passes for this other team. They got to earn it, and that's one thing these pitchers know. They have the confidence. Put the ball in play. Let them play.
What do they say in baseball? Be strong up the middle, and there are not many teams stronger than the Braves up the middle with shortstop Dansby Swanson, the hometown kid, standing by with Paul Bird. Birdie?
You're kind of a winner wherever you go. This is playoffs again for you guys. What's the difference in this year with the adversity versus the others?
Well, I'm appreciative of you saying that. I've been blessed my whole life to be a part of winning programs, winning teams. Learned a lot about how to win. Been taught how to win. It's not just something that happens. It's learned. It's a day in and day out thing, learning how to win. So I'm blessed to be here. I feel like right now we're in a really good position. I feel like we're playing some of our best ball going into the postseason, which past couple of years I don't know if that's necessarily been the case, but we're in a good spot. Our pitchers are throwing the heck out of it. Our defense has been great, and I feel like we're still putting at bats, together 1 through 8. I feel like we've been put together, good at bats, so that makes us a tough lineup to get through.
I asked this to Riley. I'm asking it to you. Is this the best infield in the game?
I don't like answering that question. That's not for me to answer. I think that's something that I feel like that mentality is what makes us, who we are, because our job is to go out and perform. Our job is to work to get to this point, to be able to perform how we are. So we're just going to continue to put our heads down, work, and do what's necessary in order to take this team as far as we can.
Last one. What's it like playing for Brian Snicker when you're struggling and then when you do great? In general, what does he bring?
He's got your back every day. I feel like whether you're doing good or bad, he's going to put you out there and give you a chance to be successful that night. I feel like him being the manager and leader of our team for the last 4 or 5 years has really kind of led us to this, because he allows us to go out, police ourselves. He allows us to hold each other accountable. And he allows us ultimately to go out and play for what's on the front instead of what's on the back. So he's been tremendous for us. Like I said, I'm blessed to be here. I'm so thankful. This is an amazing place to be, and I'm thankful that the good Lord put me here. He always works things for good. So here I am. I'm going to keep doing what he asked me. So
well done. I'll let you go celebrate with your teammates.
Well, Ian, a lot's being made of a 4th straight division title tonight. You've been part of the last 2. Does this one feel any different?
Yeah, this feels a lot different. It's great to have the fans in the stands when we clinch, and they definitely brought it tonight, and I think that's a big part of why we're able to pull through.
Put in words the emotions for you tonight, being the guy that really got to set the tone for this game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. I think I got my feet wet last year. We're near the pond, so that's a good reference. But, yeah, I think that was a good experience, and that definitely helped me tonight. It's nice. Our offense jumped out to an early lead, and, the bullpen was lights out. So we got a great group of guys, and we're excited going forward.
What do you point to, whether it was a game or a moment this season, where this team was able to finally, for instance, break not only the 500 mark, but really gain traction and turn this thing in the right direction?
Yeah, I think that was it. It's probably when I was hurt, having to watch these guys, and, they put together a great series going to New York, going to Philly, and, we kind of hit a stretch while I was out, and when I came back, it was just kind of filling my role in, and, Alex did a great job bringing guys in that, could change it up a little bit, and I think they spoke for themselves with the offense and the defense, and, we're super confident in this group.
I feel like you're smirking just a bit because you talk about guys that come in and kind of change the dynamic of a clubhouse. We just talked to one. You're sitting next to Jacques Peterson. What has he meant to this club?
Oh, he's been everything. Yeah, he's been awesome in the clubhouse, and he's a guy that can bring everyone together, and that's what you need at this time of year. And I think it showed. His personality, the way he carries himself, it definitely gives the team confidence.
I want to ask you one last thing. When it comes to the 1-2 punch that you have in Charlie Morton and Max Fried, and you look at yourself tonight, wherever you end up being in that rotation postseason, but what do you think of those guys that have really kind of stepped up in the biggest moments, right, to get you guys to this point?
Yeah, I told them they set the tone. I was just trying to match what they did, and they take a lot of pressure off all of our guys. For them to go out and do what they did against the Phillies team that was, coming into the series pretty hungry. They knew what they had to do, and for those guys to take care of business was fun to watch, and I just tried to do what they did, replicate that.
You pretty much held court, Ian. And lastly, who's the first call tonight for you? Who's that person that you're so excited? I mean, I know everyone's watching, but just to walk through this night with them, who is that for you?
Yeah, probably my parents. Yeah, my girlfriend's here, so she gets to experience it. Yeah, and she wasn't here last year too, so hopefully my parents are able to come out to the playoff series, and it's exciting.
We've kept you long enough, Ian. Thank you so much for hanging tight with us. Go back and celebrate.
Thank you.
Great job, Kelly. Ian Anderson, since coming back from the injured list, 3-0, a sub-4 ERA, 4 career postseason starts, 2-0, a sub-1 ERA. Jeff, he too, another Brave, peaking at the right time, it appears.
Yeah, you got to love his last 2 starts were just absolutely outstanding, and going into the playoffs, that's what he's going to have. He's going to have that momentum to build off, and like we said, we got to imagine he's going to be getting the ball game 3 here on that Monday afternoon.
And it's apparent in September that the Braves starting pitching, Charlie Morton, Max Fried, Ian Anderson, pitching deeper into the game. That's taken pressure off the Braves bullpen, which means the limited innings they've had to pitch, Jeff, they've been much, much more effective. They, too, as a group, are going into postseason play where they'll be needed a lot against Milwaukee on a hot streak of their own, and nobody personifies that more than Luke Jackson, who's standing by.
Luke Skywalker, how special is this? You've celebrated a few times. What makes this one different?
Four-peat. Dude, this, I mean, just as a team effort at that all-star break, losing to Kuna, losing to Soroka, all those just big names going down, left, like just Travie missing a bunch of time, Vogie going down, and AA doubled down on us. We went back in, we got some players that were huge and crucial and carried us, and we just kind of stuck with it, and the Braves way kind of grinded it out, you know?
You mentioned the fans. How crazy were they tonight?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, Wednesday night I was like, I hope they show up. And Thursday night, you guys did more than show up. It was special. That light shop tonight, I walked out just to like get the chills for a little bit.
How proud of you is that bullpen in the second half, how they helped turn this team around?
I mean, I've been saying it since day one. We got talent down there, and there's some guys with unbelievable stuff, and it was going to come, and it just caught at the right time and struck fire, and next thing you know, we were on a run with it.
Thanks for letting us be a part of it. It's a blast to watch.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
One thing we love about the Braves is it truly is a family affair. You saw Brian Snitker hugging his wife, Ronnie. Freddie Freeman with a hug. Freddie's a great hugger, as we all know. What a special event for the families of these Brave stars. Chelsea Freeman and Freddie enjoying an embrace as the Braves win their 4th straight division title. Ozzie Albies and his brother. I mean, there's so much more to this team than just what happens between the white lines, and I think we're all guilty of forgetting that. And of course, Luke and Jude, Thunder and Lightning, Brian Snitker's beautiful grandsons. Well, one liked to kiss, the other one not so sure about that. As the Braves celebrate today, Travis d'Arnaud, the Braves veteran catcher, Silver Slugger last year, back from injury, back behind the plate, back swinging the bat well. He's standing by with Paul Bird.
Travis d'Arnaud, everybody, an incredible season. You were hurt, you were on the IL, and then you came back and this team turned around. What does that mean to you?
Oh man, it's been a crazy year. We've had 7 different catchers. Myself, Alex Jackson, William Contreras, Jeff Mathis, Jonathan Lucroy, Stephen Vogt, Kevin Smith. All 6 of the other guys kept this team together until I came back. So a lot of them deserve a lot of credit. They all deserve a lot of credit to keep this team glued and especially during the rough times when we were 52 and 59 or something like that. And I mean, we did set a record of going win-loss, 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 so that was pretty cool. But to end up winning the East is special, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
Your opinion on the starters and bullpen going into the playoffs, this pitching staff?
Oh, everybody's has such open communication with not only what they see but what they feel, especially on the day they're pitching. I think it plays big, especially in playoff time when certain pitches and certain situations are going to be needed, and if they're not comfortable with it, then we know that going in, and especially against big hitters and first place teams, it's very crucial, and I think we're all very confident heading in.
Max Fried has been especially complimentary about you. How about he and Charlie, the big guns at the top?
Oh, they're both special. They both have been in those big moments and have both thrived in those big moments, so it's going to be fun to be able to work with them in the biggest games of the year in October baseball where we all want to be, and thankfully we're all there.
Last one, do you like it here in Atlanta where the crowd goes nuts?
I love it here. I love it here in Atlanta. I'm so thankful they wanted me back, and let's bring a freaking ring here this year.
I'm ready.
Yeah, me too.
Well, Jorge, you came over here from Kansas City. What are your thoughts as you stand here now as an NL East Division champion?
Bueno, de llegar de Kansas City, ¿cuántos son tus pensamientos sobre estar aquí, campeón de la National League East?
Bueno, me siento muy orgulloso de estar aquí, gracias a Dios por la oportunidad que me ha dado de estar aquí, al cambio por el muchacho que me cambiaron para acá, y estamos aquí para darlo todo.
Oh, I feel very proud to be here. I thank God for the opportunity to be here, and for the trade, obviously, that allowed me to come and join this team. And like I said, very proud to be here right now.
How have you been able to make such an impact in such a short time?
Cuéntanos cómo usted ha podido tener un impacto tan inmenso.
No me consigue, hay un bobote.
Someone's got to translate for me.
Oh, that was lost in translation. I think
How did you make such a big impact in such a short amount of time?
Sí, como pudiste tener un impacto tan importante a este equipo en poco tiempo así.
Bueno, el equipo estaba obviamente para clasificar y traté de dar lo mejor de mí aquí en el terreno. Los muchachos son increíbles y de verdad que te dan ganas de salir todos los días a darlo todo.
Yeah, I mean, the team was obviously fighting for a playoff spot, and I joined the team, and I just tried to do the best that I could and give my best effort. And honestly, the guys in the clubhouse are incredible.
Let's talk about one of the guys in the clubhouse who just passed by. What has Guillermo Heredia meant to you and his energy?
Cuéntanos en particular a Guillermo el impacto que ha tenido contigo y su energía en el clubhouse entero.
Guillermo Heredia es increíble, lo conozco desde Cuba, desde que tenía 14 años lo conozco. Es increíble, tiene una energía. A mí me hace falta un poco de energía de la de él, pero con todos los muchachos me llevo súper bien en el clubhouse.
I mean, Guillermo Heredia is incredible. I've known him back since Cuba. I think we've known each other for like 12 or 14 years or something like that. But, I mean, I think I could use a little bit of that energy that he has in the clubhouse. But, again, kind of that energy and that spark he brings, he gets it incredible with everyone, gets along really well with everyone in the clubhouse.
You've been a champion before, but what would it mean to do it with this group of guys?
Bueno, que ya era un campeón, pero ¿qué significaría para ser un campeón con este equipo?
Bueno, sería algo verdaderamente diferente y gracias a Dios que me dieron la oportunidad de estar aquí, a darlo todo y vamos para encima.
Yeah, it would be amazing, and I just thank God for the opportunity to be a part of this team, and, let's get after it.
People have really caught on to solar power here. You like it?
Yeah.
That'll do it, guys.
I watched the players dogpile on the field, but then I came over here and I watched some coaches give out some genuine hugs. What's it mean to you to be part of this coaching staff?
Well, it's the greatest coaching staff that I've ever been a part of. This was a trying year, and the coaching staff never let up. We kept going through our process, and this is the reward you get when you stay in the process.
Every one of those infielders and some outfielders and some grounds crew and some people in the fans give you credit for this infield and how good they have become. What's it like to work with these guys?
I'm just the engineer. I don't go between the lines. You could be the best coach in the world, and if the guys don't get it and go out there and perform, then how good are you as a coach? So for me, all the accolades go to those players, the work that they put in, the belief in the work that they put in. And what happened? The fans saw the performance.
You've been around a while. What do you tell players going into the playoffs?
Well, continue to do what you do when you got you here. The work ethic, as long as we keep our work ethic, we're going to be fine. And don't forget now, we was one game away from the World Series last year. Those guys haven't forgotten that. And now we got the opportunity, and we definitely will go and give our best and see what happens.
Last one, is this the best infield you've ever coached?
It is, because it was so young. I've been with him now 5 years, and if you look out there, you can't help but love that infield.
Don't tell anybody else, but you're the best interview on this team.
Well, thank you so much.
Ron Washington, everybody.
And he is the best. He is the hardest working coach in baseball, and that's with no disrespect to anybody else. He is a baseball lifer, and if you get a chance to meet Ron Washington and talk about the game, Jeff, you know how much he loves it.
Yeah, he's a huge part of that staff. And like you said, I think how hard he's worked with the infield, and it shows you what type of guy he is. He doesn't want any of the credit. He's telling about the players.
And another coach that is out of the mold of Ron Washington is the great Braves first base coach, Eric Young. He, too, standing by with Paul Bird.
I'm going to say the same thing I said to Wash, said to you. Players dogpiled. I came over here. I saw the coaches giving out some genuine hugs. What's it like to be part of this coaching staff?
Oh, it's absolutely very rewarding. The bond that we have and the struggles that we had all 4 years of making it, winning the division is very special. And then you relay that coming in each and every day and having that same love for the players and the love that we get back from the players is just special. As a coach, this is what you coach for. This is what you come for every day, knowing that guys appreciate what you do and we appreciate what they do.
How good is this team now? You struggled early, you overcame injuries, and now, my goodness, you're just putting a walloping on whoever you play.
Well, I tell you, this year has been probably for me the most gratifying because of what we had to go through to get to this point thus far. Losing Acuna, losing Ozuna, those two big pieces in our lineup and everything. And then guys come in and step in and doing the best they can, and ready, Monte. And then at the trade deadline, Jock kind of came in and set the tone. And I give a lot of credit to AA and the crew upstairs because they gave an experienced winner that came in the locker room and saying, hey, we all right, and stepped in there. And then when we got those boys at the trade deadline, I mean, the tremendous contribution they've made. And we just told them that we're not finished. So we need some more of that contribution.
Are you ready to swing the arms in the playoffs?
Well, I'm ready to point and send them around the wash, and Wash got to wave that arm around so we score some runs.
Congratulations. Fun to watch.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Granny, first of all, congratulations. Another NL East championship here. And for you and this pitching staff, where do we begin on all the ups and downs?
Yeah, right. I mean, you know, you turn around and you know, Max Fried and Charlie have been unbelievable, and we all know how what he did the second half of the year, right? And Charlie's pretty much done it all year. But it's that bullpen, right? The bullpen came around, and you know, Will Smith, I call him John Wayne, right? Because, you know, he just never gives up, never gives in, and it seems like he always gets it done. I mean, there's some dramatic times, as we all know. My hair got a little grayer, but you know what? Just like today, he's not going to be denied. So it was a full effort by, I think, the whole staff.
How would you describe this year for yourself as far as coaching goes, and maybe some of the most challenging work that you've had?
Well, I tell you, this one, I've been here for 3 of them. This is my 3rd one, and this is by far the best one for me. There was a lot of challenges, right? I mean, you know, some of these clubs let us hang around. You know, we were just playing 500, and they shouldn't have done that, you know. But, yeah, I mean, you know, we had a couple injuries. We had guys like, you know, Muller came in and stepped up big time, you know, for his starts. And Tukey came in and had a couple of phenomenal starts. And that's what it takes. It takes everybody. It doesn't just take 25 or 26. It takes a lot more. And I wish those guys could be here for this because, you know, they're as big a part of it as anybody.
It's funny you referenced John Wayne with Will Smith because I'm pretty sure he called them rowdy cowboys back there. Like, what is it about that bullpen and that group of relievers?
Well, you know what? They really came together, right? I think that, you know, there's a huge acquisition with Chavez. You know, he came in and just throws strike after strike after strike and is relentless. And I think, you know, a lot of that, I give Drew French a lot of props, you know, our bullpen coach, because he kept those guys together and they were truly one big group and they pull for each other. You don't always see that, you know, and we had some guys down there that didn't necessarily pitch all the time, but when they came in, they did the job. And that's a testament to the whole staff and how they really pull for each other. And of course, you know, coming down the stretch with the rotation was phenomenal. You know, Ian tonight was unbelievable, and he gets better and better as the game goes on, as we saw, right? And when he gets everything going, and it was what a win, and what a championship.
Because you brought up Charlie Morton and what he's done this year, and then you think about 2 younger guys in Max Fried and Ian Anderson who do have a taste of postseason, but now they get a look at a guy who has a championship and watch him going into this. What has he meant for the longevity of this group and just them elevating their performances?
The thing about Charlie is, and I had Charlie back in Philadelphia before he got hurt, but the thing about Charlie is he wasn't immune to struggles, right? So, you know, I think as a young player, young pitcher, you know, they always seem to want to be perfect. They think if they get hit around that tomorrow's not going to come, right? And he's a perfect example of a guy who's persevered through a lot, right? And he's actually getting better with age. So I think they see it. There's no change in him. You know, he's out there and he's just making pitch after pitch after pitch. And when you see that, when we're watching the game, and we have all of our starters watch the games. You know, it's like the old Braves way back, right? I mean, when they had the Big Four, Big Five, and they just all were together and they watched games together and they talked the game of baseball. And you know, Charlie's been through it all. And, you know, he can lend all that advice to these young kids, and I just couldn't be happier that he's here. And what a big game pitcher he was. I mean, that first game was phenomenal, right? He set the tone, Max carried it on, and then here we go. You know, Ian finished it up.
Well, last but not least, just because I'd love for you to shine a light on the job that Snit has done this season, if you don't mind, because I know keeping a group together when they're hovering at 500, and then naturally you got to boost with some guys at the deadline, but it's not easy.
No, it's not easy, and he deserves, for me, all the credit, right? I mean, it's difficult, right? And he's the same guy every single day. You know, I'm bouncing around in ninth inning, and you know, things are going a little crazy, you know, and he just sits there and watches the game, you know, and he knows. And the thing about what he does for our guys is he lets them go out and pitch, right? So there are certain situations, maybe late in the game, and he lets them experience it. And that's huge because you never know what you can do until you're allowed to do it. And he allows guys to go out and experience, like Ian today. I mean, he didn't have a lot of pitches, but we could have taken him out in the sixth. But you allow him to experience that. And we did it with Max, last year and the year before. So these young guys, you learn from going out and experiencing it. Just because it's the third time around doesn't mean you have to take them out, right? I mean, you got to watch the game, and that's what he does, right? We use our experience. He uses experience and uses his eyes to see when a guy might be ready to come out of the ball game. So I love that about him because that's what I'm all about as well. And they should really be happy that he's a manager here because he gives them an opportunity to pitch.
You know what I love about you is just the stories, the sharing with us. We appreciate it so much. You have no idea. Thank you, and
welcome.
congratulations.
Isn't that great? Unbelievable. Thank you.
Paul, over to you.
A lot of people say that the pink swords and the energy is one of the things that held this team together through the injuries.
Bueno, que mucha gente menciona que tu energía, las espadas rosadas y pues tu actitud fue algo que ayudó a este equipo a mantenerse intacto durante, el resto de la temporada.
Sí, ha sido algo, muchas personas me han hablado de eso, de mi actitud, de cómo uno hace el papel como atleta, como pelotero, como compañero de equipo, fuera y dentro del terreno. En realidad es mi personalidad, no soy de otra manera. Soy así bien alegre y vengo todos los días a luchar jugando dentro o fuera del terreno.
Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned that to me. As an athlete, a teammate, a competitor, they mentioned that obviously my energy has that impact on them, but to me, I can honestly say that that's just my personality. I'm a happy person. I like to come in and be happy and have that sort of rub off on other people, and that's that competitive nature that come in and do my best and help the team in any way that I can.
It's fun to watch. And a lot of people say that you coming over here at the deadline was a big pickup to this bullpen and was instrumental in helping turn this team around.
Bueno, que mucha gente habló que tu impacto que tuviste en el bullpen cuando viniste por el trade deadline fue inmenso y que te necesitamos inmensamente. Cuéntanos un poquito de eso, de ser parte de este equipo.
En verdad me siento agradecido de la gran oportunidad que me han dado el equipo de Atlanta. Yo vine aquí con una mentalidad y era dar el 100%, llevar el equipo aquí donde estamos hoy en día, que clasificamos. Me siento agradecido, gracias al staff, a todos mis compañeros de la gran oportunidad que me dieron aquí. Me siento afortunado y vamos para la Serie Mundial. Nosotros vamos a ser campeones aquí en Atlanta.
I just feel really grateful. I feel like this was an incredible opportunity that was presented to me, and I feel very fortunate for that. When I came here to Atlanta, I just knew I was like, I'm going to give 100% of myself. I'm going to leave it all out there on the field, and I just want to thank all the staff, all the players, everyone in that clubhouse who supported me throughout this entire process. I really appreciate it, and I tell you right now, we're going to the World Series. We're going to be champions.
Outstanding. Heredia, Mr. Energy. Rich Rod, incredible fastball, 93% of the time. It is disgusting. Rockstar translator Franco Garcia. Paul Berg, my first ever interview done while seated on the ground. All we need is a beach and some waves, and it would be better, but that's it.
Paul Berg, Kelly Crow, great job with the post-game and celebratory interviews tonight in Atlanta. Will Smith seals the deal. Jeff, the Braves win the East for the fourth straight time. What a night in Atlanta, Georgia this evening.
It was great. It's everything you wanted. It was a complete game. Another pitcher stepping up, throwing great, and the bullpen did its job. And now, look, you got 3 games left, but after that, the real fun starts.
And we'll see how the Braves line up tomorrow night with a couple of days of rest and preparation, perhaps, because for the final time tomorrow, the New York Mets come to town. Jeff, it is what?
The Friday Night Showdown.
Indeed. Presented by Kaiser Permanente as we wrap up the regular season portion of the schedule at Truist Park in Atlanta. This truly was a team effort, Jerome Jurinich. The Braves used 54 players, 28 pitchers. They win the East behind that man, Brian Snitker, for the 4th straight time. And partner, we can't think of a more fitting way to say goodbye to you as you wrap up your career at Bally Sports. Way to go, Jerome. We will miss you, and enjoy your post game as the Braves celebrate a division championship again.
Love you, J-Bone.
Thank you, fellas. It was a genuine honor working with both of you and working with these Braves for the last 15 years. And boy, they sent me out in style tonight. This was a remarkable run in 2021. Absolutely remarkable. Down in the first half, coming back, and then just staying afloat there. Win and loss, win, loss, win, loss, and then that amazing run at the end. By the way, it's good to see Paul Berg working hard. Take a seat out there, Paul. Relax, buddy. Relax out there in that postgame show. Peter, yes. I got to tell you, there were times throughout the season that you just made me laugh. You made me think. You called Dansby elite, but at the end of the season, you're right on the money with every one of your prognostications.
I was close on a few. Dansby was one of them. I had a feeling about Dansby early on this season. Just the work that he put in, the way he looked in spring training, he was making some different swings. He looked like he'd worked on some stuff. And for him to have that period, he worked so hard and he put so much into it. I know he struggled over the last sort of 3 weeks, but for him to turn that around and have the last 10 games that he's had, or 5 to 10 games that he's had, I think we're looking really good heading into this playoffs with him at that shortstop position.
Hey, I'm just proud of all these guys who have improved. And that's what you want to see year to year, right? Austin Riley, big improvement. Dansby Swanson, big improvement. Freddie Freeman overcomes adversity early on in the season. Right. This is a long season, Jerome. And to see these guys, yeah, maybe they didn't start out as well as we wanted them to, but to end up the way they've ended up, BJ, is big for the team in general.
Well, guys, I have to say and pat myself on the back.
Oh, my gosh.
That,
you knew we couldn't go a show without
Austin Riley would be the cleanup hitter at the beginning of the season. You guys said, no way. Oh, he's not ready for it.
Oh, yeah, that's what we said. Remember that?
It was just fun to watch how he developed during this season. And he was a big part of why the Braves are in this position. Yes, Freddie was great. He protected Freddie, got him going. You got to love what you saw out of Riley this year. One of the big leaders. And my MVP should be Riley.
What an incredible run this season has been for the Atlanta Braves. As a matter of fact, they had to beat the Phillies tonight to win the season series with Philadelphia. How crazy is that? They not only did it, they won their 4th consecutive National League East title tonight as they take care of the Phillies and they head off into the postseason with big dreams ahead of them. 1 game away from the World Series last year. Let's see if we can get that extra win tonight and get to the Fall Classic. How about we take a look back at many of the amazing plays of 2021.
Braves are down to their last 2 strikes. Swing and a drive. Deep right field. Ozzie Albies into the chop house. Breaking ball frozen. Shutdown inning for Charlie Morton. He's got it. Rosario has hit for the cycle. That ball's got a chance. That ball's going to fly out. Driven to right field. That ball is down, and the Braves have won it. A swing and a miss. Pitch is hammered. Braves lead it. At the pole. It hits the pole. It's a grand slam for Dansby. A 7 RBI night for number 7. High fly ball. Center field deep. And the track. And the wall. It's gone. And the Braves somehow, some way, win this one. What a game. I come alive. That's when I come alive. Swing and a drive. Way, way out of here. It's 1-0. Swing and a high fly ball. That one's into the bullpen. Driven toward right center. Here comes the throw. It is going to be late. Albies first pitch ambush. Ozzie at third. It's 4-0. Broken bat, little pop. It's 5-0. The 0-2 pitch. He got it. Against all odds. Against all comers. The Braves are the champions of the National League East for the 4th straight year.
We're
Welcome to Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. You didn't actually thought we were done with our coverage, did you? Come on now. People are still partying out here at the Battery, celebrating the Braves' 4th consecutive National League East crown as they take care of the Phillies and sweep Philadelphia in these 3 games. 5-3 the final tonight. Hello again, everyone. Jerome Jurenovich, Nick Green, Peter Moreland, and Brian Jordan on a night in which you knew it was going to happen. But it's so much sweeter that they did it, BJ, at the expense of the Phillies right here and just broomed them right out of town.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty awesome. It's hard to sweep a team, but down the stretch, you got to give it to the Braves. They had all the momentum in the world. All the pressure was on Philadelphia. You saw they were cracking. They were making mistakes in the ball game, and the Braves capitalized on it. The offense, again, spectacular, along with this starting pitch, and it was incredible to see these guys really pull together at the right time.
Hard to sweep a team and hard to sweep the team that's chasing you as well. I mean, they've got everything to play for. You're going head-to-head. It's their best versus your best. The pitching lined up perfectly. The bullpen did an amazing job. The offense from 1 to 8 was just different every night. Different way of scoring every night. Home runs one night, base hits the next night, manufacturing ones. It was really, really nice to see.
And I'd love to see them get off to a good start in game 1. Zach Wheeler, stud. Cy Young candidate. We knew he was going to be tough. The Braves scored 2 runs in that ball game, 1-2-1. Then yesterday, I thought they did a nice job against Aaron Nola, and the bullpen kind of blew that one out. Today, a different way. They finally hit a couple home runs, Jerome.
Yes.
First 2 home runs of the series.
Yep.
So one of the big things with this offense, they've hit a lot of home runs, but they didn't need it the first 2. They got 2 more today.
Yeah, let's remember, on Tuesday, the Phillies came into this series, and they still had plenty to play for. This division wasn't the Braves by any shape or means, but then Atlanta just took care of business. Let's get right to our key to the game here, PJ. And look, I know you can't wait to talk about the Braves offense because we're going yard.
Austin Riley goes yeah. You gotta love it. And that was a pitch that was running away from him. He reached out there and pulled it over the left field wall. Man, he really got his guy. And this guy right here, he goes shopping in the gap, right center field. When he does that, he is the best shortstop in the game. Look at Darno coming around, scoring. Darno was rolling out around there, scoring for first base. And then in the 5th inning, how about Freddie Freeman? We talk about the mistakes, guys. Segura.
One of your keys this today, Nick, was take advantage of mistakes.
And I think that's going to happen throughout the course of the rest of the season and in the playoffs. You've got to be able to take advantage of those mistakes. Braves did that today. Austin Riley did it again right here. Look at this.
Look at this. You know you're going well when that happens.
I'll take that. What is it, 3/4 of that bat? There's what's left of that
He just had the handle left.
It doesn't matter, BJ. 104 RBIs for him. This offense, again, like we said, scoring in different ways. Don't forget Jorge Soler lead off home run, too.
Started off the game. And what was my 4th key? Getting off to a quick start, scoring early, and Soler power. Yah in the 1st inning. You got to love it.
BJ got 2 yayas in. He's good for the rest of the night, folks. No question about it.
I can leave right now.
Our Toyota Let's Go Places wants to take a look at Austin Riley's night because he just keeps cementing a case for more votes for the MVP every time he steps into the batter's box, Peter.
It's going to be tough to dethrone Tatis or Harper, but I tell you what, with 3 games left, he's given himself every opportunity. He's done it at the right time. He's done it for a team that's going to the playoffs. You look at what Bryce Harper did. He carried the team for effectively the last 6 weeks, but he wasn't able to get it done when the crunch time came. Is he your real MVP? You look in San Diego, Tatis, injuries. Yes, he had a phenomenal start to the season. He's had a great season all up. But there was times where his defense was a little shaky. There was times where he couldn't even get on the field, and they're not going to make the playoffs. So who's your real MVP? It's hard to narrow it down. Where do they put the value?
It's Austin Riley.
It could be Austin Riley. It all depends on where voters put value. Is it the old school way? Is it the new school way? We're going to find out. It's subjective. People are going to be happy. We may be happy. Some people are not going to be happy. It's just the way it goes.
Well, hey, look, Nick, there's that old adage that you're valuable if your team gets to the postseason. Yep. There's the Hank Aaron Award for Tatis, who has monster numbers over 162, but sitting home watching the playoffs. So you got to go. Of course, Freddie had such a big year as well. He's going to steal a couple of votes. It's going to be an interesting race.
It will be. And Bryce Harper, you can't forget about him, too, because of the fact he carried Philly.
Great second half.
Yes, this series he was not very good, but the month of September, unbelievable. So I don't know how the voters are going to vote for this, but Austin Riley, like you said, BJ, has done a tremendous job late in this season. Where would they be without him not where they are. That's
fresh in the memory, too. Fresh in the memory.
I mean, that's the key for me. You know, where would you be without Austin Riley down the stretch of the season? When it counted, when it mattered most, Austin Riley performed at a very high level. Look at those numbers. I mean, he's hitting over 300. And look at the home runs, 33 home runs. And he's going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Those guys.
The first two guys on that screen right there are going to the playoffs. Soto, a monster year as well. But it's Freeman and Riley who are going to be in the postseason. And when you look at what Riley did in the second half, you can't discount what Harper did. But his team has come up short, and he kind of disappeared over 3 games right here in Atlanta when they needed him the most.
Even Juan Soto there. You don't even think about the year that Juan Soto had. But really, the issue that's going to be, and the argument gets made, is that you cannot punish guys for having bad teammates, I guess, you know? So, yes, they had phenomenal
the Hank
years.
Aaron Awards there.
Exactly right. And that's exactly what I'm saying. When you look at value, the value comes from winning, and winning means you have to be in the playoffs. You can't win the World Series by not making the playoffs. I don't know who told me that, but someone did. Very smart person.
Good of you to remember. All right. Hey, look, you know what? There are still 3 games to be played in this regular season, and we're celebrating tonight, but our Chevrolet upcoming schedule, the Mets are coming to town. Taylor McGill and Huascar Ynoa will start out Friday's game. It's going to be very interesting to see how many pitchers get into the games over the next 3 days for the Braves as they try to get all the bullpen. A little bit of work, but not too much. 6:30 Eastern Time on Bally Sports Southeast as the guys celebrate. We're going to take a look back at some of the more interesting comments tonight as they wrapped up their 4th division title in a row. You are watching Braves Live. Braves Live on Bally Sports is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. And by Xfinity XFi. Experience a powerful and secure Wi-Fi connection for all your devices. A 5-3 win over the Phillies tonight wraps up the NL East for your Atlanta Braves. Let's get you to our manager's interview. Brought to you by Xfinity. Here's Snit with Kelly.
Well, Snit, over 4 decades with this organization. And you've now taken them to 4 straight NL East division titles. What does that mean to you?
Oh, man. Means everything. Braves country, thank you for staying with us this year. This wasn't easy. We couldn't have done it without you. Congratulations, because we're going to the dance again.
You've certainly used the word grind over and over this season. To endure all that was thrown your way, does it make it even more rewarding to be standing here right now?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of this club, man. Everything they've been through, where they've come, the guys that we got contributions for over the last 7 months. I couldn't be more proud of a group of guys. I mean, this is our 4th one in a row. This is probably the most special, quite honestly, after what these guys had to endure, everything they came through. And again, we thank the fans. Braves country is a powerful, powerful thing, and we love you.
Speaking of which, a year ago when you guys did this, these were empty.
Yeah.
When you look around and you listen and you hear Braves country tonight, how much was this team able to feed off their energy throughout the year?
Like I said, these guys have been behind us all year long. They've come out in droves. It's unbelievable to play here. It's a blessing and an honor to be able to represent Atlanta and be part of Braves country. It's awesome. It's awesome, and we love the fans.
Nick, congratulations. Go celebrate with your guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Paul.
Just a wonderful human being. You know, you can't help but be happy for that guy. And how many guys on social media wanted to fire him back in June? What were you thinking? Come on, 4 in a row. Nick, how many times did you come up before our pre-show meeting, after you listen to Snit talk to the media down there on the bench and say, man, he was funny today. Oh, he was in a good mood today. He's just such a great human being.
Every single day. I mean, I did it again today. I love listening to him talk. I love going down and seeing how happy he is, how he manages this team. I think he's the right manager for the team. When you look at his demeanor, he's the guy that you want to play for. He's done a tremendous job since he's been here. He almost got fired for no reason of his own early on when he was the interim manager. Came on, Alex Anthopoulos kept him on, and he has proven to be a huge piece of the puzzle here. I've known him for 20 years. One of the best managers I've ever played for, one of the best guys, so I couldn't be happier for him.
He was my first ever professional baseball manager. Well, our second time. So when I was actually old enough to understand what a manager was, he was my manager. So I've known him for a very long time. I cannot be happier for the guy. I will witness when he got sent down to AAA effectively while he was the third base coach. He gets sent down to the minor leagues to manage down there again. That's got to be, again, punched in the face. Comes back, a baseball lifer, a Braves lifer, and just one of the greatest human beings you're ever going to come across. I wish him nothing but the best, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up under Bobby Cox, and that's the way he kind of manages, man. He's a player's manager. Guys love him, and you heard Dansby in his interview talk about how he believes in you. When it's going good or bad, he's going to keep putting you out there, and he's trusting that you're getting your work in and doing what you're supposed to do, and eventually you'll get those results. That is tough to be able to have a manager like that. So you got to give Brian Snitker a lot of credit, because believe me, these players play hard for Brian Snitker, regardless of whether they're in a slump. They go out there and make defensive plays, and we've seen Dansby struggle offensively, but pick it up on defense and save the pitcher. So, I mean, you got to love what Brian Snitker does. He doesn't panic. You know, he's not screaming, yelling at guys. He believes in those guys, and they came through for him.
There's a little bit of panic on the inside, but he doesn't show it on the outside.
You know what? He treats everybody he comes across, from the CEO to the people taking the tickets to every fan. He treats them all with respect. You got to love Brian Snitker. I wish him the best. Braves Live postseason edition. You're going to be with us after every single Braves playoff game. Doesn't matter what network the game is on. When it's over, flip it over to Valley Sports South, Valley Sports Southeast. We are going to have extensive and in-depth coverage of the game and get you in with interviews with your favorite Braves player. There he is right there. Man, I just love that guy. I'm going to miss seeing him around the ballpark every day. Brian Snitker, wish you the best. Bring home a ring, baby. Get that ring for Snit this year. Braves Live on Valley Sports is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and by Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. And I'm sure they would love it if you drove the Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram there while you were wandering around Mississippi. Giving them the double billboard, because it's my last night and I get to say anything I want. Hey, we got the Mets for 3, and then after that, we're going to sit around, watch the wild card game, and then battle the Brewers, even series during the season. It's going to be very interesting, Nick. They've got a great rotation, and they got Hader on the back end of that bullpen. It's going to be a challenge.
Well, it's not going to be easy, and when you go to the playoffs, you know you're going to face good pitching. That's what the Brewers do. Hitting-wise, they have some talent, but they haven't been as consistent as of late. Willie Adames has been a huge deal for them.
Right.
Once he got traded over, they turned their season around. But the Devin Williams deal at the back end of the bullpen, broke his hand, celebrating, punching a wall. So that's going to be a huge blow to them. That's how you celebrate too. That's not how I celebrate. but when you look at this matchup, it's 3-3 in the season matchup, right? You can see the runs per game, Peter.
Yeah.
They don't score as many runs as the Braves, and the Braves offense is hot right now.
That's right. And you look at the season, so the thing we got going for us is that all the numbers start 0. So it doesn't matter what we've done throughout the season. They may have had more wins than us, but we also started off horribly this year. Let's be honest. Freddie Freeman was scuffling. I don't put any kind of stock into what happened this year. So now we start at 0. So look at their roster. They've got some pretty good guys. They've got Kelton Wong. Yeah. They've got Yelich. You know, they've got some good bats. But I would put our lineup up against theirs any day of the week. I know their front two are really good in Burns and Woodruff. Freddie Peralta's a number 3, he's not bad too.
He's legit too.
Brian Anderson is a number 4, so we're going to have great starting pitching matchups. But with the loss of Devin Williams, I put our bullpen ahead of theirs right now. I know they've got Hader that they can unleash from multiple innings, but he hasn't done that at all this year. He hasn't thrown one multiple inning this year. So for them to do that in the playoffs might be, I mean, that's what you do. That's what you save it for maybe. So look, it's going to be a great battle, but do not think that this Braves is not going to put up a fight.
Well, I think you covered it all right there, Peter. Holy cow.
He has it all right here. He wrote it all down.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it's about momentum. And I think the Braves really have some positive momentum going into the playoffs. And I continue to go back to that injury to Devin Williams, an important piece to the puzzle that got them there all season long. Down the stretch, they didn't play so good. So they still got 3 more games. But the Cardinals came in and took 2 out of 3. I mean, they're not playing good baseball right now, so I really feel like we have the advantage going into this playoffs against Milwaukee. The injury will continue to hurt that team. It's a mental thing going into the playoffs where you lose a key guy in your lineup.
You know, those first 2 games are going to be magnificent pitching matchups. Burns, for a large part of this season, was your leading candidate for the Cy Young Award. Woodruff, fantastic. And then you have, of course, come on, we're throwing out Charlie, who's clutch in the playoffs, and then Max right after that. Those first 2 games are going to be great. Hey, look, we still have 3 games left in the regular season. That means 1 more Friday and 1 more chance for you to win money with the Home Run Blast presented by Coors Light. All you got to do is pick 3 players you think are going to hit a home run in these games, and if one of them does, you got a shot to win $25,000. Now, when you're retired, $25,000 is a lot of money. So I'm entering. There's no question. I'm going to give you 3 names. Go ahead, check out tomorrow's games. A lot of great players and matchups to choose from. So let me just start with you guys. You want to give our viewers a little hint? Nick, you want to go first there? Throw out a name for us?
Here's what I'm going to do. BJ's not working tomorrow, so he's going to have to tune in tomorrow to listen to my picks. But I might pick Stanton. I might pick Judge. I might pick Riley. Right. I might pick Soto.
Got to go with the Bravo, though, right?
I might pick Salvador Perez. BJ, stay tuned tomorrow.
I will stay tuned, guys.
Here's the thing.
When I sleep, I will.
I don't think anybody's going to play for the Braves tomorrow. You might see a bench-filled lineup tomorrow after a few celebrations, so I wouldn't pick a Bravo tomorrow, but look at these other. Salvi got a little hurt yesterday, so he may not be back, but look at those lines. Houston, Correa went deep tonight. Man, there's a lot to pick from. There's a lot to pick
from. That's too many games for
you guys have fun picking that tomorrow.
I hate to break the news to you. It's already tomorrow. It's after midnight. We're still breaking down a big win for the Bravos. All right, we are going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, final thoughts from these guys on what has been a magnificent run in 2021. Once again, a reminder, after every Braves playoff game, Braves Live postseason edition. Wait till you hear what these guys have to say after every one of those Braves wins in the playoffs, only on Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. Well, you know, the fellas had a lot of fun tonight as they wrapped up the 4th. It wasn't always pretty, but it was still enjoyable. You got to love Luke. You just got to love these guys.
Don't do it, Will.
Go Smith. We need you. You know what? He kept the cigar out of the water, so there you go. It was another save for Will tonight. 37 on the season and his cigar out of the water. All right, fellas, final thoughts on this amazing 2021 campaign. BJ, lead us off.
You know what? I got to say resilient. You know, this team was resilient. You know, in that first half, nobody expected this team to do what they did. I mean, everybody got off to a slow start, injuries, but give credit to the brass. Making those trades, improving this ball club, and the team comes together under Brian Snick when it matters most. It was stressful, but they got it done.
I just saw a graphic and a chart of the playoff probability, and it was just like this. The year was amazing. It was incredible to watch these guys from go to woe. I'm so proud of what Snit did. I'm so proud of what Freddie did to come back after all this, the start of this year. Everything went off to a bit of a terrible start, both on the field. He had a house full. There was kids everywhere, but he turned it around and potentially put in an MVP for the last four months. Fantastic.
I love this team. And yeah, it was a little stressful. Alex Anthopoulos said it was the most stressful year of his career, but they got it done at the end of the day. They're led by a great manager, Brian Snicker, 4 division titles in a row. This team is amazing. They're playing good baseball right now. They deserve everything that they have, the way they've overcome obstacles this year, and they deserve to win the first round too, Jerome. And by the way,
Jerome,
since it's your last day, we had nothing to do with this, but they sent you out on a good note. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me.
Thanks, J-Bone.
Oh, man, it's been a pleasure. And I'm glad I got to go out with you 3 guys tonight. And look, to everybody that was Fox Sports that is now Bally, back in the truck, back in the studio, back in the offices, thanks for all that you did to make my job so much easier. To everybody at the Hawks and Braves, I am a fan for life. And look, to you, the viewers, you didn't have to tune in early or stay after the game, but you did. So I hope we helped bring you a little closer to your favorite players, get you ready for the game, and maybe made you laugh once in a while with my bad humor. And I told you all on social media in July that once I retire, if you see me at the ballpark, feel free to buy me a beer because I won't have an income. And Delaney, wherever you are, I am going to pound this in about 30 seconds. So good luck to the Braves for the rest of this season. Thanks for watching. It has been an honor to be in this chair. Trevor, good luck. You're going to do great. Braves Live postseason edition after every one of these playoff games. Let's get a ring. What do you say? This will be the year.
No way, J-Bone.
Swing and a high fly ball. That one's into the bullpen. Driven toward right center. Here comes the throw. It is going to be late. Albies first pitch ambush. Ozzie at third. It's 4-0. Broken back.